and hosts that were stopping by. I linked everyone the website, but one of them that they announced was GM Barrow is going to this convention as a special guest. Of course, we've already covered a lot of it, so I'm not going to waste everyone's time, but check it out if you're in the Wisconsin area.
No good for me, but it still sounds interesting. Probably get her to sign a couple of the books I already got.
The pink mascot's hot.
That came out of nowhere.
It's what he does.
You linked it.
Hey, you want to talk about coming out of nowhere? I've got plenty of them. I like them, so it's no big deal. I'm used to it. Anyway, moving on here. One little piece I want to mention to everyone. Jay Haller has the top 10 videos of October out. Of course, the typical rules are in place. Throw your 5 or anywhere between 5 and 10. I think anyway. Vote. Throw your votes into the comments section of this video. Of the 5 videos from October 2014 that you thought were the best videos.
That ain't good, because I smacked him for the last one.
You're asking me. What I can say is, what was it I was going to say? If you're looking for good videos, this is actually a really good avenue to go down, folks. It really is.
I check it out every week, even though I premiere the best videos of the week that I could find. Sometimes there's actually 1 or 2 that I miss, and they happen to be there.
That's my point. All right. Y'all ready for the art, guys?
Sure.
Bring it.
All right. We just have one image in a comic this week. Tim. This one I saw late in the week. He released a piece earlier, but when I saw this, I just said, this one has to go in. This is Marusa's Sunset Shimmer. Here is the link for you two. Not hard to see why I wanted this one put in. What drew me to it was not only just his styling. I've been a huge fan of his styling. I'll tell you something shortly here, folks. But in the meantime, he drew the full portrait of Sunset Shimmer, the human, earlier in the week. He then added on the background image that you see, and that was what signed the deal for me with this one. I said, I've so got to put this one in.
Well, immediately, the one thing I'm thinking immediately is My Little Pony meets Naruto. We basically got the ninja Sunset Shimmer out there, but she has a demonic power held deep within of some sort of weird fiery demon. And that's also explains the belt headband that makes absolutely no sense, and just a ludicrous amount of belts in general.
Wouldn't that be Yu-Gi-Oh then, with all the ridiculous amount of belts?
Nah, it's just pretty much most anime. I mean, you had Lulu and Ten with a ton of belts. It's basically just a dumb joke with a lot of belts in most animes. But yeah, it kind of just screams anime image for some reason to me. But I like it. It's definitely awesome stuff.
So that is Best Ninja. For those of you who don't know who Marus is, he's the guy who's been running that huge and insanely great anime-esque, or I should say, is it manga-esque in this case? Regardless, that huge comic project of his. Check it out. And before you're asked, why do I never show that? It's because it would be way too long. And I might reconsider that later, but I'm not. I'll think about it. That's the best I can give.
You would have less time with us.
Well, I wouldn't do it now. I meant way down the road. It's certainly worth checking out. If you have not checked this comic series of his out, Friendship is Magic, the series, do so. Do it now. Thank me later. All right. Now, if you've never been to this show before, one of the most, I'll say, beloved things that we do is comic reading. When fans make comics, we read them, and we read them in the worst possible voices you will ever hear, ever. So, gentlemen, do you want to read this comic with me?
I mean, unfortunately, the best you're going to get out of me is it's pretty straightforward read. They always give me the narrative stuff, so that's usually what I'm locked into.
Well,
And there is no narrative in this one.
Yeah, that's the problem you face.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine by me. If you want in, great. If you don't, just tell me.
He does.
I could probably throw a couple of interesting lines out there and make you guys regret ever doing this.
Oh, trust me. You guys really should just stop by in the next couple of weeks when we start throwing lots of comics in here. But anyway, we have Princess Luna, Fancy Pants, Prince Blue Blood, and Fleur de Lis. Who do you want? 4 characters.
I am the knight, so we'll go with Luna.
You can take one more. Most of them except Fleur are just 1 or 2 lines.
Okay, I'll take Blue Blood there too.
All right. So I get Fleur and Fancy. Excellent. All right. Princess Luna starts.
Fancy Pony, my good friend, we meet again. How are you having fun?
Yes, Princess Luna, Your Majesty.
No need to be so formal. This is a party, after all. The Jumpy Pinky Point. Bonnie at Ponyville has told me all about it. What? Repressed feelings, memories, coming back.
All I can
Sister,
picture out of this one is just some malfunctioning sound.
Huh.
Carry on.
sister, what are you doing with my cake? That's mine. No, stop eating it. Dibbles butter at the flank.
Auntie, are you all right?
Where did he go? Whoosh. Splish. Tune in next time, folks. We will next time he releases The Secret Life of Fleur de Lis #4 as we see where this goes. In the meantime, here is the link. Anything to say, guys?
About that.
Lozenge.
Nah, I'm good.
I need to sign up for the show, VA. Yeah, I try and put on a good show. I really do. But, yeah. It's a man trying to do women's voices. There's a reason it's hilarious. But anyway, enough of me. Let's get to the interview proper, shall we, guys?
All right.
All right.
For the record, please state the name you wish to be addressed by, what your job is, what your favorite episode is, and you can go by the season. Please state also your favorite character from Generation 4 specifically, and if applicable, state your favorite character from any generation.
Okay. I am Cirque Main. I am the host and head of the Brony Show, as well as the head of the Brony Show website and everything in general. I'm basically the owner and, again, head mugwump. I am, let's see, my favorite episode is Feeling Pinky Keen. Twilight Sparkle is my waifu, and Twilight Sparkle is always my waifu. Forget the other generations. They're fun to watch, but I have no waifus there. Except for the 3rd generation. That one's fun for a whole nother reason. Because it's stupid.
Right, and I am known as Slick Deals. I'm a retired member of the Brony Show. Currently, I'm acting as the 2nd curator for the Traveling Pony Museum, head of sales and PR. I cannot for the life of me remember my favorite episode. I actually had a lot of them way back. Let me just at least just get one out, I guess. Anything having to do with Nightmare Moon. not Luna Eclipse. Forget everything having to do with that episode. I don't care. Favorite pony, Nightmare Moon. Favorite, just Nightmare Moon. That's it. And you can bunk anything else. Every other character can suck it. Forget the other generations. If it doesn't have Nightmare Moon in it, I don't care. I don't need anything else in my life.
Fair enough. So why don't we start at the beginning? Tell me how the Brony Show got started.
That would definitely be the best one to field that question right off the bat. Actually, the story of the Brony Show started way back in season 1. I actually didn't find out about the Brony community or the new My Little Pony show in general until about halfway through season 1. I decided to just start watching it on a bit of a dare, as well as just to collect some information, and slowly began to get sucked into it, finding out about the different memes, Derpy being one of them, and just all the little jokes and everything that were being introduced in the community. Found out more about videos, music, images, just all the incredible stuff that this community was pumping out at an incredibly ridiculous rate, too, I might add. And then when season 1 came to an end, when there was no clue on if season 2 was going to happen or what was going to happen to the community in general, I wanted to give back to the community. And I've always entertained the thought of doing a live stream podcast of some sort, usually video games, since that's one of my big passions. So I go, why not try doing a live stream with bronies? I'll grab a website, I'll grab a stream, I'll grab a couple of people, and I will try my luck. About 5 to 6 podcasts later, I finally started to hit our stride, and the Brony Show was officially born. Being one of the first and so far longest running live video podcasts out there.
Second longest.
Really? Well,
was...
live video. Technically, the longest running would probably be Bronyville. But
you were just behind them.
Yeah, I got started just before them, but they run off of a pure audio podcast while we actually do ours video and live.
Well, that was my point. You're literally the second running podcast to have kind of the community proper.
Oh, well, that too, yes. So we've been in it for a very long time, which means I've seen crazy crap you guys will never believe.
Oh, trust me, I wouldn't put it past you.
Allegedly, this is a podcast. Wait, is that what this is?
What you guys are doing, or what I'm doing?
What you're doing, is that what this is?
Yeah.
Okay, then podcast. Allegedly, this is a podcast that I am not allowed to tell various stories on, so that's a shame.
Yeah, we have to keep Slick Deals here a little reined in. He's definitely one of more animated, and our podcast I decided to allow it to be unrated. Of course, we do try to keep things PG-13-R-ish, but there are times that we go completely off the cuff on things. Granted, we're not gonna, go. We got our limits and our lines, but yeah. Needless to say, Slick.
It's whatever.
Slick Pad has probably the craziest mouth I've ever heard out of anyone. Of course, that's kind of what makes him entertaining.
When was your first air date? What was the day that you call officially founded?
I believe it was May 18th. It was Friday, actually. I wanted to start the podcast then, and then I realized that I was competing against Brony State, who already had a couple of thousand bronies watching every single Friday. Figured I don't want to go with that. That's a little too much. So I just made a quick podcast saying, yeah, we're not going to be doing this on Fridays. Instead, I'm going to do it on Monday. So a few days later, on the first Monday, that's when I started my first episode, and it's been every Monday since. Well, every Monday I can do it since.
Yeah, no kidding. I know that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the drive? What was the motivation to do this? You may have already answered it, but wherein lay your passions?
My passions were involved with the community in general. I just loved how amazing this community was, how you could always find some incredible art where there's these music videos that you can play that are just incredibly entertaining. You get all these people that are just fun to be around. Some of them completely silly, some of them a little bit over serious, but it's just get a huge multifaceted community, but there's so much of it that it's impossible to explore it all. And I want to show some of the awesome stuff that I was able to find and let people and entertain people with that information. Let them know about, hey, there's this awesome stuff. Hey, there's that awesome stuff. And it's just been my whole drive the entire time. I just love the community and I have so much fun with it even now. That's the whole reason I keep the show going.
So I got to ask you, as a fellow content collector, is there a favorite piece you have? And if so, what is it?
That one is the impossible question. I got a lot of pieces that I enjoy. I got tons of different pieces of art that I enjoy just for this reason or that reason. There's videos all the way back from when I started joining into the community to even now that I go back to and enjoy. To pick out one piece is almost like asking somebody who's your favorite pony. Yeah, you can say that they're your favorite, but you really enjoy all of them, except
Sure,
Fluttershy in some cases.
But what I'm getting at is, even if you have are there any highlights that you could name? Any specific ones that you would say it's not your all-time favorite, but it certainly stands out amongst everything that you've seen for one reason or another?
Let me think. Let's see. I really like the Vast Fluttershy. That's always been a really awesome one for me that I've always enjoyed listening to. See, image-wise, yeah, that one I can't settle on one. It just, yeah, keep flipping back and forth on that. Music-wise, dang it, I've been in this way too long. Cup of Dirt. I really love Cup of Dirt. That one, me, my friends, my everybody, we keep quoting it constantly. That is a very hilarious one. And just Scootaloo and the animation just makes it perfect right there. It's a cup of dirt.
I got a cup of dirt. No, it's a jar. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. And guess what's inside it?
That wasn't a line that he was supposed to do.
No, it wasn't.
He tripped on scene and ran with it. The faces of confusion you see on Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom are 100% real.
Well, there you go. We found new trivia.
Nothing quite like method acting, eh?
I'd say not.
So tell me, where would you say... Oh, shoot. What was the question I was going to ask? I derailed off a little bit. Well, it doesn't matter. What I do have to ask, so now you started hitting your stride. Where did you say it took off from there, or where would you say you arrived?
When I joined.
Actually, that is pretty much a very valid point. We started ramping up things a little bit at a time, but we really didn't start taking off heavily until Slick Deals joined in and he started to run interviews for us. After that, we started to get in contact with lots of major people in the community, and we were able to actually interview even some voice actors, which were some of our even now is some of our greatest highlighted achievements. And that's when we really started to become a bigger and bigger name in the community. At the same time, though, we did have our problems getting word out that this podcast was going on and that it was completely live. That's always an issue with live podcasting because not everybody can always catch it when you have it happen. So it kind of did slow down after a while, which is always a bit of a shame. But we've always had our loyal listeners and our loyal followers, and ever since I started really working on trying to get our YouTube archives a little bit easier for people that can't watch it to enjoy the show, we actually do have a bit of a YouTube following now as well.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Tell me more about them.
Well, we don't have anybody in particular that stands out. We've had about over 500 subscribers just recently, in fact, and
Nice.
some of our videos are getting up to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 hits, which doesn't sound like much, but considering we're a podcast, just discussing things in the community rather than screaming out of a video game. That's actually, the numbers definitely aren't bad, and they're increasing every single week. So it's just a slow build at a time.
Trust me, a couple thousand hits, that's really good. That really is. To put things in perspective, I'm lucky if I get 100 every week. But again, enough about my problems. Take us through a day, or take us through a Monday broadcast. What do you, what's it like for someone who may have never been there?
Well, currently at the moment, I either just wake up from a nap getting ready to podcast, or I'm rushing through the door because I had to work late. In either case, I start trying to get the stream together enough to start a pre-show while I make sure I got all the news ready to go. I get all of our panelists together, whether new panelists, some of our other loyal panelists that love jumping in and talking about this and that, getting all that together. Then somehow we randomly summon the agent of Derpy, and everything starts to break left and right. There has yet to be a single show where we ever got everything 100% correct, hence being hosted by DerpyNet now. Which is basically our biggest running gag, that the show is hosted by DerpyNet, where things can and will go wrong in ways we've never expected.
So what you're telling me is Mr. Murphy is disguised as Derpy.
That could be the case, if I knew who Murphy was.
Murphy's Law.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense, yeah. Yeah, Murphy's Law works very nicely into our stream, and, well, we just go with it. In all honesty, it makes for a lot more hilarity behind it, and that's what we do. We'll still try to get everything together and get a show going regardless.
Nice. What does the carry on from there? So you're done with the pre-show, then what?
Then we get the call together, we check audios real fast, make sure everybody gets the notes, news, maybe do a little bit of discussing here and there. Usually that's when we start to get the really juicy stuff, and I have to tell people, hold it till the show, dang it. This is all awesome, this is hilarious. Just please hold on to it, don't forget it for at least 5 minutes. And then, get the show started, and then usually about 2 or 3 times I realize my microphone's not being registered by XSplit. Then I have to restart it again. so many false starts just because of microphone issues altogether. I laugh at it, but sometimes I want to cry.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, then we still get it all together, and it's incredibly entertaining. We always have a nice audience of 50 or more live viewers, with new people always coming in, and everybody has a great time with it, all the way from beginning to end.
What do you talk about?
Everything. Everything that involves the community and also our panelists. One of the most recent things that we started doing on the show is What's Up Bronies, where we basically talk about what's going on with the panelists for that week. Whether they are just having, silly things happening in their life, they manage to accomplish something incredible. We give them a chance to stand on their soapbox, let people know that, we're bronies, but bronies have so many passions out there and so many things happening that it's always fun to just listen to the stories that are happening to us. Go into news like you do, except we are a little more extensive. We definitely go through a lot of merchandise news. There's always something going on or coming out that we can either get excited about or razz on. Especially
Razz on?
Well, Raz, as just basically make fun of it. Real big case in point is the vector ponies, the stupid vector designs that they started out with, and they put on just random merchandise just to try to sell it.
Oh, I see where you're going with that. Okay.
Yeah. And along with that, we'll talk about other things that might be coming out that might be of interest. Maybe a new game demo, maybe some music collection, or just random news, celebrities dressing up as ponies, little pony figures, whatever else catches our attention that we feel we should get out there. We usually try to avoid a little bit more of the slanderous or questionable content, as well as rumors in some cases, just because you never know what's really going on with a rumor, and we don't want to be the one to spread it.
Well, the last thing you want to be is wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't worry about being wrong. I just don't want to be wrong for the wrong reasons.
That's probably the better way of putting it. But yeah, I see the angle you're coming from, and I have to agree with you. How do I want to word this next one? I was looking through your archives, and you have it split into 3 hours, it seems. Tell me more about how the structure of the show goes.
All right. Well, the first hour first hour or 45 minutes. We try to keep it to 45 minutes, and in all honesty, we always go over. Well, not always, but most of the time we do. And the first hour, we just start opening up. We talk about what's going on with us, the latest news out there in the community, as well as just letting people have a chance to get in on the stream if they're running late, so that they can still enjoy the big parts, which is usually our discussions and our videos. And also, giving the heads up that, hey, there's this stuff out here. You can either laugh at it or you can go ahead and buy it. And that's usually how the first hour goes. The second hour, that's the meat of it. And this used to be the time when Slick Deals here would actually do his interviews. Do you want to go into that a little bit, Slick?
Well, sure. Ultimately, all the interviews really consisted of was about what you would imagine. It was, God damn it, Citra, leave me alone.
That's pretty much how a show would go too.
Yeah, don't give Citra your number. I would contact them several weeks in advance, which is, honestly, if you're not doing that, then you just got lucky with these people, apparently.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just writing down the questionnaire, making sure they have a copy. I used to follow the questionnaire much more directly, but I managed to get a much looser feel for the interview, because it's good to have something to work off of, but having questions spawn as you're doing the interview is it's more realistic, and it's honestly a lot better way of dealing with things. Interviews can be hard. When people don't talk to me in an interview, that's when it drives me crazy. It's sorry, just give me one moment, Circuit Gab.
Yeah. Well, no problem. That's what we used to do with interviews. Unfortunately, we've had to, since Slick Deals, unfortunately, no longer interviews with us. That's gone a little bit more on the wayside, and we use it as a special thing that we do on the stream once in a while now. But nowadays, we talk about different things that are going on with the community. We're trying to get a little bit more involved with maybe popular discussion topics, or maybe not so popular discussion topics, as well as just silly other things that are happening, such as, sometimes we'll take an entire comic of My Little Pony and voice act it. Or we'll even do a blind reading of a script of an episode, and just either do it as silly as we can, or in some cases I've been trying to get to a theme. We tried Powerpuff Girls as a theme on one comic. That didn't work out too well because, actually it did work out incredibly well. Slick Deals had an incredible voice of him. But everybody else, it was just a little bit ragtag, which it was hilarious, but it was horrible at the same time. Yes, and we also do other things such as sometimes blind reactions or just plain reactions. I'm planning on doing Rainbow Rocks tomorrow, in fact, for a reaction to the Rainbow Rocks movie, just playing it and reacting to it in real time as we're going. Of course, most of us have already saw it in theater, so it's definitely not going to be blind. It's impossible for it to be blind at this point.
Tell me more. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Along with that, we also tried discussing things a little bit, or bringing up a specific topic such as Halloween and Nightmare Night. Last week, we We were talking about all sorts of Nightmare Night video games, some of the fun animations that came out throughout the years, and a couple of the awesome music videos as well.
Got Citra here actually arguing with me about what hat is a friggin' fedora. This guy.
Pretty much.
Mm.
I can just picture this conversation now, but I'm not going to go there. What I can ask are, what are some of the things that you've discussed? I know you might have already said some, but maybe some like specific subjects.
Well, most of our discussions have been about how-tos or things that you can do in the community. How to write a fanfic, how to start a podcast. What are some great video games that you can mod up with ponies and make it completely crazy? We haven't really done anything in a deep discussion just yet, though. That is something I am working towards now on this for the show itself. Because I feel like it would be a good time to try discussing things a little bit more in depth and a little bit deeper. Though we will probably end up making it silly and stupid anyway, but that's just pretty much what we do. We'll take a ball, we'll run with it, and then somehow we'll manage to hit our heads on it or something. I don't know.
How would you structure it?
Well, usually I would...
If I can ask, of course.
Usually I would just go with the base topic right off the top, what it is. Give a little bit of history and information about why exactly we might be discussing it, what the big questions and thoughts are going on with it, then get a little bit of insight from each of the panelists that I have. Maybe bring in our chat room a little bit to give some of their opinions and thoughts. From there, we might grab little tidbits and stem off of that, add to the discussion as we go. Essentially, what you would do with an interview, but instead of interviewing a person, you're interviewing a topic.
Right. Okay.
I feel like I just went into the 60s right there somehow. I'm a flower child. We talk to the trees. We listen to what the trees say. Believe the trees.
Tree.
Or rock.
Okay. Tell us more about... I'm partially curious, at least from my perspective, of course. How do you... kind of hard for me to ask this, but how do you prepare for the show? In the sense of, what do you look for content to share? What do you look for subjects to discuss? What do you look for, et cetera, et cetera?
In the early days, it was regurgitating whatever was on EQD.
But nowadays?
It still kind of is. Admittedly, a lot of our information does come from EQD, though we also try to go through PMV Today, Derpy News, and I'm starting to get a little interested in horse news as well, though we got to really be careful with that part. Because horse news can have some interesting information, but it's also... Don't look it up, people. If it's 4chan it's a 4chan as a board, and that's how crazy it is sometimes. It can be good, but it can be quite interesting.
He's not kidding about that one, folks.
Yeah. But along with that, now that we've got our hooves in so many pies, as it were, we sometimes things just randomly pop up. I'll be looking at some pictures here and there, and then one will pop up that'll pique my interest and maybe give me an inspiration or an idea for a topic, or maybe I'm just laying around goofing and like, hey, let's read a comic. Why not? And sometimes some of it I'll just be inspired by what's going on in the community. Other times I'll just have an idea ping into my head like a freaking brick.
How does that feel?
Like I'm struck with inspiration and then it hurts when I can't remember it for a while.
Been there, man. Been there. Was there an episode of yours that stuck out to you that you just felt you were on the top of your game and it was just your best episode ever?
Not exactly, no. all of them there's always been weird quirks going on, but every one of them we've given our best to do. All of them have really been really fun. The only one that really sticks out as an interesting turning point for all of us was when we Slick. It was the interview that basically made us wonder, that got us our biggest views, but it was also kind of an interesting little bit of a fun train wreck.
You mean Hot Diggity?
That is, yes.
Yeah.
That's probably the most memorable one. It wasn't our best interview in a long shot, but it also gave us a chance to realize that, interviewing these people, they're silly, crazy, insane people too, and we can just have fun with it rather than having to just be sticks in the mud, as it were.
Yes, Hot Diggity Demon was a really informative interview because he was on there for the specific person to mess with us, and so were the 893 people he brought with him.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
And that being said, he did for a while. In the early phases of that interview, he definitely got under me because he was something that I was absolutely not expecting. That being said, as the interview marched on, I got used to this and I managed to calm down. It gave me some really great perspective into someone who's there just for the purpose of messing with us, and I actually managed to work out quite a lot of information from him despite that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people really enjoy that, and some interesting artwork come out of it. I only saw it once, that entire thing, so don't ask me to find it.
Speaking of people you've had on, who are some other people you've had on? I don't think you mentioned that.
I mean, like he said previously, we've had voice actors. We had Flim and Soren, who were Ed and Double D of Ed, Ed and Eddie way back. That's Matt Hill and Sam Vincent. We've had Lee Tokar around. For the life of me, I can't remember it started with an L. He had a weird name. The one who made the Brony documentary.
Oh, Laurent?
What was it?
Laurent Malacqua?
Yeah, whatever his freaking name is.
We had that guy.
That was a pretty good interview. Oh my god, though, that man would not shut up.
You said it yourself. Those were the best interviewers.
No, not exactly.
To an extent.
It's good when they talk. When they don't talk, it drives me insane. But there is a point where they just don't shut up. Well, I'm glad he talked to me, but my gosh, he would talk forever. He would go on to one subject, and then he would immediately transition into another slightly related subject, and would just kind of go on for a while until I found some point to just cut him off. There was this very awkward 5-second silence somewhere in there, just because he ended so abruptly at one point that I didn't expect it. I had nothing prepared because I was sure that he would not stop for some time longer. Yes, we've had a lot of really great, really interesting interviews brought on. God, my early episodes were a wreck in the way of interviews. I can't believe I've conducted some interviews in the way I did early on.
That's the growing pains for you.
Exactly.
But we've had a lot of great artists, a lot of great musicians. Citra, we had Rena Chan. We had entire groups that are still friends with us even today.
Yeah, I remember when I was nice and like way too enthusiastic about everything. None of our fans are going to see this. I'm going to type this to you in this chat because the very first interview I got for the Brony Show was John Hazeko, and this was, I can't believe this. This was my the subject I put on the Deviant note that I sent to him requesting an interview. This was the subject. This is how green I was.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Or happy eyes.
Yeah, that's how green I was at this. I'm glad that Joseko is an awesome guy because that managed to go through pretty well. Most people didn't really question it, but the professionalism came with time.
Absolutely. What would you say to someone trying to get trying to start their own production? what piece of advice would you have for them?
I mean, in what regard are we talking about? There's just a lot of aspects. I just need
I
something.
realize that, so I'll specify. What would you say is the one thing that separates the good podcast from the bad podcasts?
Being able to ask any question. The biggest problem that people have is that they're too nervous, and they think that people of merit are too good for them, and so. One of the biggest pieces of advice is simply that just ask whatever you have to, because the worst that someone can say to you is no. You build connections, you build fame with the people that you get to view your show, and you just ultimately try to be friendly, because when you try to get someone, you ask a favor or you ask for something, the worst anybody's going to be able to say to you is no, and then you move on from there.
Exactly. I want to shift a bit now from the show itself to stuff that happens a bit after the show, or at least off stuff that's more on your website that some of us may not know about. Tell me more about your game servers.
Well, those are primarily run by Michanized, who is he's French actually, lives in France, native French. It's interesting. It's taken me forever to actually be able to competently understand him. Not that his accent is necessarily that thick. God, I can't do it. Anyway. Those are run by Michanized typically, and we have Minecraft servers, we have some Gmod servers, the simple things, and we use them on occasion. The Minecraft server has been some of the most fun, just because we've all done some rather interesting things. Like I'm not a builder. I bust up monsters, get potions, I sell it to them. We all have our own little roles just for the sake of it. I hate building in Minecraft. It sounds weird, but I honestly hate it. So then there's Gary's mod. We just play the usual games. Murder, of course, being my favorite, because any member of our show can tell you I'm an excellent liar. It's just like lying is like 60% of what I do. But that's because I work in PR and sales.
I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
No, it's fine. No, so being able to lie to you in that game is great. I remember we were playing a game once, and yeah, if you know how murder works, it's just that like, I was the murderer and nobody knew it. So I'm just like, all right, if we all get back to back in a circle, he can't get us. And of course, meanwhile, this entire time, I'm the murderer. So I kill like 8 of our group of 10 people in that circle just for lying to them. And then Circuit got a lucky shot. The point is, we do a lot of just cute, unique, little fun things now and then. We do try to get as many unique games in as we can. It's progress is slow because, well, life. People gotta live, and for God's sake, like I said, Mike Nines, who typically runs these things, is French, meaning time zone difference. Shockingly enough, does little to hinder him in the way of being with us. I really don't know what his time zone in France is relative to ours, but it doesn't seem to hinder him very much. So I guess it must be reasonably on par.
CM, do you have anything to say to that?
He's muted.
I was going to say he must be muted or on the can or something. Anyway, tell me more about the forums on your site.
You mean those relics that will never get used?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, we've tried to do a lot with them. We've had various competitions. We've the usual forum posting stuff. Those are run typically by, I believe it's Crazy Matt Captain, another long-running fan of ours. And they just don't get used very much because, unfortunately, we no longer have enough dedicated fans to where they would get used. When the show began, we would get 200, 300 plus viewers, and that has gone down significantly over time. I can't exactly say why. I'm honestly not 100% sure. That's been the most disheartening thing in the world for me, believe me. In any case, but the forums don't get used very often, just for the sake that we don't have too many fans that are going to keep up with it. I can't possibly keep up with forums myself. I hate posting on forums. I don't see the appeal. I don't know how people do it and like have just so much fun with it. I can't stand it.
To each their own.
I guess, if that's how you're going to look at it.
Tell me more about some of the other things you offer on your site for the first-time visitor.
Well, ultimately, the site is there as a sort of placeholder for the show. The site isn't where too much gets done. For news-related things, you'll typically look to our Steam groups. That's honestly where all the announcements are going to be made. Our site's not very popular, so it doesn't get heavily updated very much. It's more there as a placeholder. There's lore on the host OCs. I'm pretty sure I'm still there, so that lets you know how long it's been since the site itself was updated proper. But again, it's just because it doesn't seem much use.
Fair enough. Tell me more about... Oh, shoot. I was on a train of thought, but I lost it.
It happens.
Tell me more. I want everyone to hear about this. Tell me more about the, Iron Pony Sit-Out.
Mm-hmm. The Iron Pony Sit-Out is a little mini game that we like to play on the show after it's completed. It starts as soon as the Brony show begins at 9 p.m. East on Monday nights. And it runs until you stop. You basically stay in the live stream chat room making the occasional post. The time limit is 10, 15, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. And you just make a post now and then, and you record these. And the one who is in the chat room the longest, when all others have left, is the winner of the weekly Iron Pony Sit-Out. And we do give rewards for breaking certain records, the current of which belonging to...
Rayo, actually, at about 26
Rayo
hours.
gunned it. 26-hour standout.
Oh, 26-hour standout.
But that's not the all-time record we have. Currently, our all-time is actually Commander Something, who...
That's right.
During the summer, he actually went a full 60 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, he stayed in for 2.5 days.
Unfortunately, I think Rayo pretty much killed the competition for the rest of the season, though, because I haven't had a single person standing in for Iron Pony after that. No! 26 hours is too much!
Yeah, it's too much. It ain't gonna work.
We're probably just going to have to wait until November is over and then go to the December competition where we can start fresh.
Like, if somebody manages to take it from Commander Something, I will put you on television.
I'd like to see that happen.
That is something that I honestly would love to see, but we're not exactly holding our breath on that one either.
I don't recommend it.
Did you say you hand out prizes?
Well,
if you break a record, which used to be much more frequent until Commander Something did that.
Yeah, at the same
so
time, though,
honestly, you can pretty much just tell yourself, no, we don't.
Fair enough. We're about ready to open up the audience questions here, but before we get there, I do have a few other things I want to ask you guys. Do you do any other broadcasts off hours? Not on Monday?
Oh yeah, we my whole goal for the Brony Show is to make it a stream that anybody can go and enjoy. It's hosted by Bronies, but we have so many things out there that anybody can have fun with it.
Such as?
I
Well,
used to run an anime block similar to America's Toonami on Thursday nights. We have this one dude who I swear to God, if I come back to the show at any point, the first thing I'm going to do is fire that guy. This dude Winchester, known as Winchester Wednesdays. I honestly don't know what goes on there. On Fridays we have a movie night hosted by our own Comet Star Shots. Sundays are starting back up soon. It's been on a hiatus for the moment, as the second co-host Art Stream Blanked Mind, who will take free, mind you, art requests through the night. Not too much through the night. I think it's about a 2-hour block, something to that effect.
actually, I think he's doing that
Do we
on
do Tuesdays? Anything Tuesdays?
Actually, Tuesdays, that's when I do random anime at that time, though I'm thinking about trying to make it a little bit more cemented for people to catch. I just grab a couple of different shows of anime. Previously, I was doing One Piece and Full Metal Panic Fumofu, but One Piece apparently is not all that popular. Admittedly, it's huge, so so I decided to dial it back and grab something else, and Fumofu is just about done, so it'll be switching up here in a moment. As well, I believe Blanked is actually doing his Inkwell on Tuesday and Wednesday nights now, because his Sundays are usually spent stocking shelves at Walmart.
Right.
Harsh.
Well, yeah, it's a living, and he
Right.
actually seems to enjoy it pretty well, I think. But yeah, along with that, Sundays we also have the Let's Play that would normally be on right now, but we're obviously pushing it back for the sake of the interview here. We'll be doing that after the interview is over, and we also have Moldash, who is a Brony musician. He does he either plays really spooky games like Slenderman, or that weird space one with the cookie monster that comes after you, or whatever the heck that thing is. I swear,
trying
it
to
looks
think
like
of
a
that, too.
gingerbread man. It looks like a fucking gingerbread man, but
SCP is all I can think of.
yeah. But yeah, he does that, as well as create music and let people listen to the creative process. So we almost have everything every single day of the week. It's quite thrilling, and we're hoping
man.
to expand it even more than that at some point.
It's so exciting. You'll never guess what's on television next, Circuit.
Mike Tyson Mysteries?
Lake Placid. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Riveting.
Uh,
For
dare
5
I
of those
ask?
movies, for God's sake.
Fun stuff. But yeah, the whole idea of the stream is to try to make something fun and entertaining for everybody to enjoy, and to have it so that it's a little bit more frequent, not just some random stuff. Well, really random stuff, and the once a week show.
All right, we are now going to turn the questions over to the audience.
This could be fun.
Those of you who have never been here before, please put them in our specially designated room. I will ask them so long as they're appropriate. But let's get started.
Listen, if this wasn't if this show didn't have a rating, they could ask whatever they want.
He'd answer it. I might
It's
even
true.
too,
Fair
but
enough.
to some extent.
Alicorn Texas Boy asks, what would you like to see in Season 5?
You
Me.
to change your name.
I would like to see me in season 5. Put me in all 5 episodes. Give me a relationship with Twiley and also royalties.
All right. Well, reiterating previous statements. Anything related to Nightmare Moon. But in actually a serious note, I would really like to see more on the past of the Alicorns. We've seen a lot. I'm really just waiting to see what's going on with those two in the past. More particularly the rise of a lot of these villains. Like we know how T-Rex happened, but I would really be incredibly interested to see where does Discord came from, or rather, how he got so hopped up the way he did. Because I can't imagine that he was always around just devastating stuff.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, personally,
Anything having to do
though-
with villains, really.
Personally, though, I would like to see maybe a return of some of the older villains, though I highly doubt it. Gilda, maybe, or just or maybe even Babseed things. Just
Yeah, I'm still
I would like
that.
to see some more of the other secondary characters, but at the same time, I'd just be happy if it was just as fun as the other seasons. Not any real big expectations.
Listen, I could be okay with anything if they would just like officially remove the episode putting your hoof down. If they did that, like I could call it a perfect show.
Oh, I know what I would like to see. I would like to see Derpy getting
Garbage.
another voice role, just to drive
Right?
people crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And have another Derpy Gate? Are you crazy?
Yes.
Well, I mean, she's back now because DHX basically said we don't care about you people anymore.
Well, not only that, they found out that the Derby Gate was just a bunch of trolls.
Yeah. What did you think?
That middle-aged mothers actually cared about what their kids were watching on TV.
Yeah, okay. This
Okay.
isn't the 90s.
No, it is not.
The early 90s had a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, but there was still a lot of parental advisory for it, and parents actually cared.
Yep. Yeah, the moment you got what was the name of that freaking show? Neonic Titan? No.
Symbiotic Titan.
Symbiotic Titan. The moment you had a freaking booty quake sung on Symbiotic Titan, all bets were off.
Listen, you can say whatever you want about that. I'll never stop loving that scene because immediately after she is done trying as hard as she can, that robot looks at her and says, "No."
Are you kidding? I love that scene. That's just pretty much the
guy.
point where you're like, yeah, they don't care anymore.
I don't give a crap about
Yeah.
her. That guy, I love him. He's great.
Yeah.
Just simply put, no.
Yeah.
Next question. Twilight is Magic asks, how many rainbows would Rainbow Dash dash if Rainbow Dash could dash rainbows?
I
Pie.
don't know. Get your own original name. What is with the names of these people? And then maybe we'll talk.
I would say pie.
The number or the food?
No, that's just my answer. Pie. I'll leave it up to interpretation.
He also asks, what is your favorite crossover involving Friendship is Magic?
Hmm.
Well, a long time ago, back when I was first starting the interview stuff, when I was still a reasonably innocent MLP viewer. Yeah, no, there was actually a time when I was a nice guy. Can you believe that? So there was a cross fiction with I interviewed the author of the fanfic known as Pony Space, which was a Dead Space My Little Pony crossover. And it was incredibly well done. And Lord knows at the time I did not want to read anything grimdark, especially. The thought of it revolted me greatly. But for the sake of the fans who actually used to ask me things, that was a great time. I read it and I actually enjoyed it heavily. Unfortunately, seeking it out is pointless because it was never concluded. Ocean Sama, its author, that man is gone. I don't know what happened to him. We were in touch with him for a long time, and he outright vanished. He's not on Xbox. He's not on Skype. We have no idea what happened to Ocean.
Which is really a shame.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
absolutely gone.
As for me in crossovers, dang it. Again, hard question to answer. One particular crossover I was enjoying immensely in the fanfic realm, at least, was Sweetie's Mansion. Basically, it's a crossover between Luigi's Mansion and My Little Pony, obviously, but it's a lot darker. It's a lot darker than Luigi's Mansion ever is. And it really has a gripping story that just leaves you on the edge of your seat. The only problem is when I finally got to the end part, they did not finish the story, and the artist didn't update it for almost a couple of years, in fact, and has only recently started to put in new chapters again. So I gotta play catch up on that now.
Hey, you want to see me completely divide your entire chat room? The way I got my start with this whole thing was when I found and read a story that I absolutely fell in love with. To this day, I've never read a story that has enthralled me or made me fall in love with its characters and its story this much. I got started in this whole interviewing thing after I read Past Sins.
Most of us here, well, I don't know. Some of us have, but
Yo, give it time.
okay, fair
You're gonna
enough.
get a lot of mix in this chat room now.
Yeah. Well, if we
Anyway.
also want to divide it a little bit, Fallout Equestria is an okay read.
I think it's effing terrible, but you know.
It also divides us.
Nothing happens.
All right.
I read text for a story, not to read a video game.
Next question.
All right.
All right.
Matt the Shadow Man asks, what is your reaction to the Pony movie announcement? Is there anything or any guest VAs you'd like to see in it?
I don't care who's in it. I'm honestly just excited because I honestly feel like I'm one of the last just outright fans of the show. I don't care about anything in the fandom. I just enjoy watching the show. So the movie, yeah, I'm in there. I'm going for it.
I'm with him on that
So
point.
whatever will come, will come.
Yeah, I may be a brony, but I'm just excited for the movie in general. This just shows that something that we only expected a season to get a freaking actual movie premiere is incredible. Of course, everybody's going to start speculating, but I'm just going to hold my breath, be the professional that I am, and wait until we actually see something, rather than start speculating about everything from Gilda becomes Emperor of Earth to Twilight Sparkle suddenly decides to give up her princess powers in order to become the Pony Princess population planet of Papakrekre.
Like eats her wings
What?
and becomes healthy.
I don't
or
know.
something.
I was just trying to grab as many p words as I can. My brain just kind of fizzed. But essentially, I'm just going to wait with bated breath and see what happens, rather than worry and speculate. Especially since so far,
I'm probably actually gonna have fun with. I'm probably actually gonna have fun with this one since with Equestria Girls, I saw that in theater when it came out, and I actually wrote its very first review. So I might actually go there to enjoy this movie. Not that I didn't enjoy Equestria Girls. I actually had a lot of fun with that movie.
The first one or the second one?
Yes.
I enjoyed the Equestria Girls stuff. I definitely enjoyed the second movie significantly more. But I had a lot of fun with that first one. I really did. I thought it was a great movie. I mean, it's an awful movie, but I thought it was great.
I enjoyed it as well, and I was one of the people that said, don't panic until it actually happens. Then again, I always feel like I'm that voice of reason within panic. Oh, the Twilight has wings, we're all gonna fail! Oh no, they're becoming girls, we're all gonna fail!
They did.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just gonna wait, see, and I'm sure it's gonna be fun either way, because they have yet to really fail badly. Season 3, not great, but it was still pretty good, and that's so far the only real low point in the entire Generation 4 franchise so far.
Well, see, this is why I will never be visiting your stream. This right here, please keep the chat SFW. It's not happening. I can't be here.
If you want to go crazy in chat, you can go to our chat room. We don't care as long as you don't insult us or spam it.
Fair enough.
That's just what we do.
That's fine. To each their own.
Yep.
Again. Let's see. Twilight is Magic asks, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen Pegasus?
Which do
Who
you
the
mean?
hell? No. You hold on. Who the hell is that? There's only one way someone knows that question. That's one of ours.
And just for sake of giving everybody happy giddies, which do you mean, an African or European Pegasus?
I don't know. Thank goodness I installed that magical safety net a few days ago.
We're
I
not even
digress.
near the bridge.
Trust me. Anyway, Mr. Ben asks, I have, referring to me, have my own first 5 questions. He has his own set of questions that he always has to ask every interviewee.
Oh, we got one of those.
Oh boy. Okay, bring it. We're ready. Come on. We do this every single interview. Even now we still do this every single interview. Bring it.
What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Crap. Okay, let's see here. Ah, dang it.
It's really hard. I usually swear a lot to articulate my thoughts properly.
Yeah, peppermint. I'll just go with peppermint.
Seriously?
Yeah, I love it. If
Why aren't
it's
we
made
friends?
right. If peppermint is made right, it is the... I love it. Other than that, probably mint chip. Or anything minty, really.
All right. Oh god, there's so many. We're just gonna go with mint chocolate chip. It's a good standard.
His other question is fire, air, earth, or water.
Water.
Which of these four classical elements would you be able to manipulate?
Earth and water.
How come?
Because water is the best everything ever, and I guess earth is a close second. Meanwhile, all other elements can... Seriously, you have taken away so much of my vocabulary with this.
Let's see. In my case, I would have to go with air and fire.
Again, how come?
I'm a freaking walking electric pony. What do you think I'm going to be affiliated with? What do you think I'm going to be able to
Affiliated.
manipulate? Yeah, what do you think I'm affiliated with?
Fair enough.
But yes, that pretty much seems to be the standard. Plus
I wanna
fire
get into
burns
OC
everything.
stuff, dude.
Fire will burn the sins.
OC junk got bad with this show.
That's not to say that it doesn't happen with every single fandom.
No, it's pretty bad. But rather, it got bad with me. That's pretty much it. I didn't do any of it.
Hey, at least we're not the. At least, no, stop, not doing that. No, I've seen
Not
worse.
going to even ask.
I'm not. Let's just say I was probably going to bring a flame war, the likes of which none of us want. So I'll just say I've seen worse.
Listen, Twilight is magic. If I was Mr. Torek Flexington, listen to me. I just go on the real show at some point. You will see me. You know, maybe one of the Let's Plays. That's better. That's usually where I'm allowed to just kind of go ham on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Going ham. Jeez.
He definitely hams it up.
No, it's personal story. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's alright.
But Mr. Ben's last of his standard questions are, what is the meaning of life?
Nightmare Moon.
The meaning of life is to go and experience it. It doesn't matter what you decide, what your creed is, your position, what your job is, who you make friends with, what you do for the entirety that you are on this earth. The whole meaning of life is to have life with you. To
So
go
how
out.
was any word of that original? Any word? Was it
Actually,
going to be?
pretty much, I'm plucking this off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious.
Not
actually.
totally.
Of course, admittedly, this philosophy comes from many readings and many ideas and skilling. So it is accumulation of everything that I've experienced in my life. And
Yeah, I'll
life
wrap you
is
on
meant
it
to be
later.
lived. The meaning of life is to be lived. Nothing more, nothing less.
Alicorn Texas Boy asks, Celestia or Luna?
Both of them suck.
Both of them with me.
Matt
He
the
doesn't
Shadow
want.
Man.
He doesn't want
Go
to
ahead.
choose
If
one.
you're-
I'll
if
take
you're-
them both. He doesn't want
If
to choose
I'm
one.
being
I'll take them
forced,
both.
if I'm being forced to choose between them, Celestia, because good God, what has Luna done for any of you?
I don't know. I'd probably pick Luna just because she'd be a little bit.
Yeah,
okay,
I know you would.
Okay, who am I kidding? I would pick Celestia just because I don't know. I
Yeah.
think she's awesome.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Okay then. I pick myself. I'm my own princess.
Your profile pic backs that up.
Yes, it does.
You don't want to see a lot of the stuff that's been made from you. I actually have two fantastic projects underway. They will never be seen here, but it's going to be great. Citra owed me a favor.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's exciting.
Let's
And
see.
Citra 360 owes you a favor. It's a good place to be.
I'll keep that in mind, actually. Matt the Shadow Man asks, Sega or Nintendo?
Nintendo.
I'd probably have to go with Nintendo.
Sega was an actual really awesome video game system in its prime. Genesis, Dreamcast, even Saturn had some awesome stuff, but Nintendo is still making systems, and a lot of them,
Yeah,
because
meanwhile-
I've actually researched this, are still pretty awesome. So Nintendo wins the war by default anyway.
There you go.
Let's see here. I've got a lot of these either or questions, so we'll keep this theme going.
Why
Unicorn
not?
or huh?
Why not?
All right. Texas Boy asks, Unicorn or Alicorn Twilight?
I don't care. She can be pretty annoying anyway. I guess Alicorn, if only because she had some wonderfully shining moments in that season 4 finale. Because dog, that sort
I'm
Oh,
actually
you had to see
gonna.
me and you had to see me and my friend Jared swearing at the TV in excitement. It was great. It's like I was really at work.
My case, so I'm gonna have to start off with what Dee was saying. It doesn't matter. Twilight is still awesome in my book, whether Alicorn or Unicorn. Twilight is Twilight. Wings do not change the person.
Well, to some degree, but I digress.
Or
Let's
Red
see.
Bull, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I was meaning they'd be dead, but
Oh.
yeah, and then Red Bull.
Oh, yeah, Red Bull. Yeah.
Mr. Ben asks, consoles or PC?
Honestly, I only prefer PC because it's usually a good hub that I can play with numerous different friends on. Excuse me. Because not everyone can drop the $300 to $500 on any current consoles. But ultimately, oh no, if a lot of people were console, I'd go with console. Console is everything for life.
I can't pick on that one. A lot of great games are on PC. A lot of great games are on console. Each of them work separately and work with that thing. Final Fantasy, I used to enjoy the crap out of. Now I just think it's crap. But
Don't you get me started on that? You know it.
I know. But there's a lot of great console games that work really well just for sitting around, enjoying a couple of pizza and a couple of drinks, and just gaming to your heart's content on your TV. And then there's a PC where you can get all of these incredible games. Some of them are ridiculously weird. You can play any of them anytime you want. You can even mod games. Like I heard one case where somebody has a literal war zone going on with their Skyrim, and they had a dragon attack the entire Imperial army. And another guy, he's doing other things with a Skyrim that are pretty much the exact opposite and show that he desperately needs a girlfriend. But that's another case.
I really don't need to take that from you.
No.
Anyway,
Not you.
No, the things
Not
I do
you.
with my Fallout and Bethesda games, really, they let me have way too much freedom in these games. I think my favorite is for a short story. All right, nothing. I don't think anything in any Bethesda game has pissed me off more than when I'm walking through a town and I hear some kid be like, "You can't get a decent sweet roll in this town." Seriously, every time that happens, I always wish I could do something about it, and I did. After I learned to manipulate the console, God help these kids. It took the mod to be able to mess with children because unfortunately, even the console code obeys that law. It's weird. So, upon installing a mod to where I could do whatever I want concerning kids, steal from them, kill them, all that stuff. Anytime I hear that, I bring up the console, I click on that kid, I type in the model morph code,
Indeed.
which is absurdly long. Don't ask me about it. And I turn that kid into a sweet roll, and I leave him on his father's bed, and I watch his father eat him.
Oh my gosh, that is terrible.
Yeah, I do a lot of really depraved. I do a lot of really socially depraved things in Bethesda games. A
This
lot
is
of
why we
a
keep
lot of my
sleeping.
adventures in Fallout concern me eating people. Like when you first start in Fallout 3, I used the consoles to get off the table, and I ate my mom. By the way, it turns out your mom is black no matter what race you choose.
Really?
Yeah, like it doesn't matter. You are always one half black, which makes you feel pretty cool. Just knowing that as you go through the wastes.
Oh, there you go.
No.
Yeah, those are my Bethesda adventures, among other things. The stories really go on for a long time, but no.
I'm sure now that the audience is going to be just curious for more.
I do.
I
are
can
some-
imagine. Yeah.
There are plenty of stories. I mostly just do things for the sake of it. Like, I got Arcade Gannon addicted to cigarettes for no real reason.
Join me, Link, and I will make your face
Pretty much.
resistant.
Join me, Link. It's a smooth flavor.
Okay, next question. Coke, Pepsi, or other?
I'm a Pepsi guy. I think it is the superior soft drink. Got a
either-
friend who will fight you to the death. That is Dr. Pepper.
I actually am trying to get off of sodas altogether, so I don't really have a preference.
I don't drink it unless I'm at work because it's free. And God, how can I not if it's free?
Exactly. How about...
Obligatory. That's racist. It is racist. But if you really want to see how racist I can get, you should join us sometime.
Yeah, bit heavy warnings on that one.
Yeah, I grew up with a Brooklyn chick from the '60s. It's great.
Somehow that
my
actually
mom.
answers a few things.
It's my mom. If you didn't figure that out.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I
Why
have
is
no.
magic... Sorry, go ahead.
I have no verbal restrictions. It's pretty bad. It's great. It's why the museum doesn't let me talk when we're out on the streets in different towns anymore.
And it's going to be more interesting if he ever moves here to Utah.
Good.
Yep. Why are there like a lot of? Because there's a whole lot of, for the sake of the stream, we'll call them Spanish-speaking people around this town. But that's pretty much it.
Well, you got that, and plus we're pretty much, you got, well, not exactly half anymore. I'd say a good 40% is an LDS community.
College was such a culture shock for me, dude. Growing up where I did, there were my high school, a class of over 2,000. There were, I mean this is a real number, 13 black students. 13. So it's crazy. That was my town. I go to college, which is in a different town, and there's racial diversity literally everywhere. I'm like, holy crap, who are these people? It's an experience. It's interesting. So, you the questions. What's up?
Yeah, I'm more interested in hearing it from you guys than whatever I have to say here. So
Oh, well,
bear that in mind.
might as well just get the questions out. That way we could just keep on ranting on stupid stuff.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Twilight is Magic asks, assign roles of major superheroes to the main six's pets. Who is who?
I'm not
Really?
going to do that.
Really? Wow. Okay then.
Yeah, that sounds like an overly complicated and reasonably annoying request.
Yes, so we will just do one. We're going to make Gummy Mr. Mixelplex. Himself.
I don't even know what that is.
Uh,
Took my ex-girlfriend 2 years of MLP to make the connection between Gummy's name and the fact that he has no teeth.
just like some weird omnipotent being in Superman's universe. Basically make Gummy omnipotent and just see what happens.
I'm just picturing this for a minute, and it's like,
Can we make Mr. Cake Lex Luthor?
Oh!
I'm just trying to picture what would happen if Gummy did have omnipotency.
Probably
He may as
absolutely
well.
nothing.
We don't know anything about that freaking alligator.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe absolutely nothing will happen. Maybe he's just literally brain dead.
By the way, Pinky's lucky that thing's a baby. That thing was chomping on her leg. It doesn't matter if it doesn't have teeth. That thing's jaw can break your arm. That is an alligator.
Yeah.
But we're also talking about the one pony that has literally broken the fourth wall, able to twist her neck without breaking it. And
I guess I'm just saying, like, that is an alligator. It doesn't matter if it can't rend your flesh with its teeth; it can bust you up.
But it's like Circuit said, she's probably
she's more
done all of these
omnipotent than freaking Gummy is.
All right, so what's next?
Alicorn, Texas boy asks, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Japan.
And why?
I go
God,
to Japan, man. I'd be huge in Japan.
Yeah, I will let you know that no matter where I go, I will never go to Japan.
That's another reason why I go to Japan. So,
Like, get away from him?
no, I'm kidding. It would
The
kind of
only
be
place
lonely
I have
without
any
him,
desire to go is Canada, if anywhere. Frankly, I am very happy being an American. Everywhere else in the world can suck it. I've been to Ireland. That place sucked.
You can literally walk to Canada. It's probably maybe a walk across the street for you. Or pretty
Yeah,
close.
there we go. Well,
Jeez.
it's 8-hour drive, something like that.
Oh, well, it's still pretty close.
Yeah, I'm in New York, so yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah,
Still
in
takes
all
a
honesty,
while.
though, I wouldn't want to live in Japan. I love living here in the U.S., but I would like to visit it just to see just to have a bunch of Japanese girls. Oh, it's Big American! Big American, let's go be with
Yeah,
Big
sir, I'm pretty
American.
sure you'd be the tallest man in the country.
Ooh.
Yeah! Hey, I always wanted to be the big man in town.
You're bigger than everyone you know.
Somehow that hurt a little.
Seems like we're starting to push some buttons,
Yeah,
eh?
congrats. You just...
Yeah, he could try pushing them, but I've had him push so many times I don't even care anymore. Heck, I push my own buttons. Pushy.
Next question. Crazy Matt Captain asks, cupcakes or muffins?
CMC, you son of... Okay. You want to get this first? Slick.
One of the funs of doing the show is having their people come and ask questions and push buttons so that I innocently enough ask them only to have the interviewees
Yo, I'm a
get annoyed
cupcake
like
man.
this.
Yo, I'm a cupcake man. I can't deal with muffins. I can have like a muffin, unless they're like those super like good soft muffins. You know what I mean? They're just really baked nice. Basically, a muffin that is basically a cupcake. It has like the muffin properties, but the cupcake softness. If that is what we're going with, then I will prefer a muffin. But until that point in the muffin's life, it is a cupcake.
Well, this one I have a bit of a story. I found a recent bakery nearby where I have started to buy breads. Along with that, they also bake sweet confectionaries, including different kinds of muffins and cupcakes. I found a double-dipped chocolate fudge mint cupcake over there.
Oh my gosh, that sounds good.
This one, it has minty icing. It has dark chocolate muffin cupcake part, and the bottom is also dipped in dark chocolate. And it is chilled to a nice cool degree so that obviously it will melt if you hold it for longer than 10 seconds. And that has officially made me a cupcake man, as well as probably a few pounds heavier.
How about, let's see.
Oh God! All right.
And I'm pretty sure CMC or one of our other loyal viewers are going to ask us the other ones.
I hope not. That'll actually get really annoying.
Well, we pretty much opened it up at this point, so I doubt it's not going to happen now.
Right.
Mr. Ben asks, who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu. Now go home.
Exactly. Twilight is Magic asks, you're now the evil overlord of Canterlot High. What are
Good stuff.
What are your first 3 acts?
I'm going to remove the gender signs on the bathrooms, so you can't tell, and it is going to get awkward for every student in there. They're gonna be annoyed. It's gonna make me laugh every time I hear a complaint about it, because I'm gonna collect those complaint letters like fat kids collect cookies.
I'm going to put up one of those stupid antennas that stores are doing now that block out cellular signals.
That is evil.
Thank you.
It's
And then
perfect.
and then I'm just going to turn it off for 1 minute at some point between classes when everybody's in a rush, just to turn it back on as they finally realize they can start getting texts again.
No, you know what? Even better than that. Oh, you see, here's what you do with that. You turn it on only between periods, like the only time they are feasibly allowed to text. That's when you turn it on.
But yeah, you
They
only
got
do
to
it
run
for
the risk of getting caught. They got to run the risk of getting caught in class if they want to do it.
Yeah, but if I do it
But
for a
don't they
minute when they're
already do
between
that?
periods, you can literally watch them stop and then scream because they can't get their text out in time.
Good stuff.
No. Better yet. If you really want to be evil, jam the signals during times in between class, but turn it on during class.
Nah, that's pretty much what they already do during class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Never mind.
I mean, God, you had to see it as soon as I got to college and realized, hey, I could use my computer. I don't think I paid attention to any of my courses ever again. I'm a Dayton graduate. I don't care. I didn't care. I was smart enough to get by these classes.
And next on my act as the evil dictator of a high school, I would make the cafeteria pizza every single day be the only
No, I've
meal
got
you
it.
could eat.
I've got it. What every student that graduates, I'm gonna make sure all of their names are misspelled on their diplomas. That's it.
That's evil.
Yeah, I know. I
feel
could
like
get really depraved with these actions if you wanted me to, but again, you have a rating system.
I prefer not.
No,
Yeah.
besides, it's much more inventive if you can actually make it sound ethical and not messed and still messed up.
Exactly. So you have one more evil deed left to perform. What is it?
What,
All
do we have,
the
like,
soda
three of them or
dispense-
something?
Yeah.
All
yeah,
the
there were
soda
3 of them.
dispensers would dispense Fresca.
I would make sure that any dissection concerning, small pigs, frogs, would be replaced with small household cats because everybody likes cats.
Meow.
Well, he's got me
Yeah.
there. Right.
Listen, if one is still making that noise, then you have license to dissect it and kill it. Then great, you get a lot of life experience with that.
I
Just
just
stabbed a cat. Good on you.
I take it you're not a cat person.
No.
Dogs?
The only thing cuter than the world's cutest cat is any dog.
There you go.
Answers that question. I think there was one of them down there on the
That's right,
Question
internet, come
list.
get me.
let's see here. Texas Boy asks, favorite TV show other than MLP?
Supernatural. Yeah, I'm that guy, I know.
Ah,
God, I love Supernatural. God, I love it.
well, I was really enjoying Leverage, but now that it's over, it's kind of a bummer.
You know what show I don't enjoy? Every single aspect of Doctor Who you people have ever watched. If I could kill everyone who has ever been related to that show, I would do it. And and the world would praise me for it. You wouldn't at first. You would later.
You'll have to forgive D-Pad. Unfortunately, he had Doctor Who spoiled for him so many times, he just doesn't even want to watch it.
Basically, here's what happened. Once the whatever generation, I don't know, of Doctor Who came out, the one with that talentless hack David Tennant. I was in high school at the time, 11th or 12th grade, and as soon as that came out, oh my God, no one would shut up about it for months. Months. This was all I heard. I didn't even give the show a chance at that time because I had no desire to. I absolutely hated everything about it because no one let it be fun.
There you go.
Then I watched it and I discovered that David Tennant can't act.
Now you've really pissed him off.
I'm glad.
That's
Come
what he
get me.
does. But hey, that's why we have Sleek Deals, because he's just that kind of person that can stir up controversy and have fun with it, and we can have fun with it too.
Oh, yeah.
How about Matt the Shadow Man asks, what controversy in the fandom has annoyed you the most?
Hmm.
God, all of them. Honestly, it wasn't the derpy one. Honestly, trying to think. There was one that really, really just got to me because of how. Oh yeah, the thing with Vinyl's eye color. How absolutely ridiculous for people to get so bent out of shape over that.
CM, did you have one?
I'm trying to think. There was ones that definitely got my irk here. I think the one that really drove me, that I have to admit had some of the funnier moments in the community, but the one that really drove me crazy was when everybody was losing their minds over Twilight getting wings. I mean, it's
Well,
like,
in fairness, that had some justification just because that could have been a massive and major personality shift.
yeah, it could have easily done a lot of damage, especially with how sometimes usually shows upgrade their character and then suddenly, though, everything just goes all to pot. But at the same time, we never saw the episode for weeks on end. We just knew it was going to happen, and everybody was freaking out rather than waiting and seeing what in the world happens. So it's just pre-reactions rather than the after-reactions that drive me the most crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The world's going to end! The show's going to end because the Twilight is going to get wings! How do you know? Have you seen it? No, but it doesn't matter!
Yeah. You know,
My world is over!
Seriously, the more people hate on something, the more excited I get for it. It's just kind of this reverse thing that happens to me.
Let's see. No, it'd be a positive feedback system, but I know where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Ben asks, favorite movie and favorite genre of movies.
Scott Pilgrim versus the Universe, and because God, I love the movie. Holy Christ, I saw that movie 6 times in theaters and then did refuse to buy it until I could get it on Blu-ray. Anyway, and favorite genre? Honestly, I like to laugh. It's usually comedy. I like the humor to be a little more intelligent, though. I really love Arrested Development, so if I can get humor like that in a movie, man, we in there.
Yeah.
Not that Scott Pilgrim versus the Universe had Arrested Development humor in it, mind you, but...
It had geek humor, which is even more awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, everything that happened in that movie I loved. Because I had actually read the comic prior to that movie, so I loved every second.
Let's see. That one's a little bit toughy, but I'm going to go with my Christmas favorite, Die Hard.
Yes.
And I do have to go with Slick here. I love comedy movies the most. I just love to laugh at good comedies. Dear world, there's been so many stupid comedies, and they're like, oh, look, another fart joke. Oh, look, the cat's using the toilet. Ha ha ha. Sons of idiots.
Yeah, people complain about there not being a whole lot of visual humor in movies anymore, but that's because a lot of visual humor is stupid these days, to put it simply.
Yeah. Yeah, give me a freaking
Actually, if you
joke
like to
that
laugh with a great balance of dialogue and visual humor, I'm actually forcing Comet Starshot to play the comebacks next week.
Ooh, really?
Comebacks.
It's it's a parody movie essentially of Remember the Titans among 1,000 others, because let's face it, good Christ, there's so many football movies.
There are.
They can only be inspirational for so long. And that one, it's just a really great mixture of visual humor and dialogue humor. It pans itself out really, really well.
Why am I suddenly reminded of The Replacements, though?
Yeah.
But it's still... Hey, I'm now excited a little bit there.
By the way, I wonder how many times do you think this guy has gotten, like, just kind of, what would we say? I suppose lynched from behind the screen. This guy, Hoovie and Brony, he is literally 2 of the internet's greatest hates.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see too
Clearly
much who
haven't met
hate.
the Twilight family.
I don't see all too
I mean-
much who hate there, really.
I mean, I hate him. It's something.
That's definitely something. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
But just because you hate him doesn't mean that others do.
Yeah. Well, unless
His
of course
name
he
was-
says, that the
no,
Eighth
no.
Doctor was the best, then yeah, you pretty much got the
Yeah,
entire.
no. Here we go. Here's how this works. I love this. I love seeing on YouTube somebody leaving a comment and making a very very valid point, in regards to a rather disgruntled or rather hateful comment, and it immediately gets bunked because they've got a picture of a pony. No one even reads it. They just see the picture of that pony and call him up.
Oh, you're just a brony. Yeah, and
Basically, yeah. So if you wear yourself a picture of a pony, then you can expect that kind of treatment.
I don't care anymore. I still have
I was
to
going
wear
to say, and?
it. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, it's a big end when you work in PR like I do.
Good point. I'll give him that. Yeah.
I suppose I can see that, yeah. But anyway, next question.
Yes, I got him.
Favorite video game?
Oh, Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger, really?
Chrono Trigger, dang it. I loved
so
that when I
glad.
was a freaking kid. I played that forever on the SNES. I bought the DS version when it came out. I freaking brought Chrono Cross because I was hoping it would at least be even a smidgen bet as good as Chrono Trigger. And even to this day, I sing its praises. Chrono freaking Trigger! It is an
I'm so
awesome
glad.
RPG!
I wasn't even aware that you knew Chrono Trigger. I'm so glad. It's difficult. I have so many so many classifications of favorite games. It's very difficult on me. It's been a thing my entire life with games. I know that's like so common because anyone from the 90s and slightly below are huge video game people, but it's honestly too difficult. They played way too heavy a role in my life. It's I can tell you that my favorite series of anything ever is definitely the Zelda series. And like everyone hates me for it, my favorite Zelda to play is Skyward Sword. It's not the best. I don't think it's the best at all, and it's definitely not my favorite, but it is my favorite to play.
Yeah, I can go with that.
What about favorite story-wise?
Majora's Mask.
Another good one.
Christ, I love Majora's Mask. Oh my god, it's my favorite Zelda there is. Good god, I love Majora's Mask. Everything
Personally,
about
my
that game.
favorite's Link to the Past, but I'm an old
I
school
beat
gamer.
it. I played it on stream recently, and you just kind of watched me just rocking the game because I've played for way too many years. Again, running theme with me, swearing a lot at the various aspects of the game, because when you're older, you realize how many things piss you off to an ungodly degree.
Oh,
Such
yes.
as the couples mask. Hey,
Yes.
chat. How about the couples mask?
Oh, man. Actually, I never found that all that difficult.
It's
then-
just because it drags on for so long.
That and there's so many ways to screw it up. Also, you have to let the old woman get beaten senseless and mugged. I'm exaggerating heavily, but there's a flash. So my take on that is that the smiling man just slugs her one and takes the bag. So you have to let that happen. You have to let a poor old woman get mugged in the middle of the night in order to proceed with that quest.
True. At least you got time travel, so you can beat him up every time afterwards.
I'm just saying, it's so terrible.
I know it is terrible. It's not a good thing. It's
Well, no, there's a lot of moral ambiguity, because if you let her get mugged, then you save the marriage between a lonesome woman and a cursed man. And if you what did I say? Did I say if you save her? Yeah, and if you let her get mugged, sure, you save them, but you just let an old woman get mugged blatantly in the street. And by the way, did that guard that guy ran right by that guard, right out of North Clocktown. Didn't even care. Outright saw that woman get slugged in the middle of the road. That guard didn't even care.
That's because he
What do
wasn't a
you
Deku
expect?
shrub. He wasn't a Deku shrub, so the guard didn't care.
Yeah, no kidding. Me and my buddy Jake, many years ago, we put it on YouTube a long time ago. We pioneered the glitch to be able to become Fierce Deity outside, and that a-hole doesn't let you through if you're Fierce Deity in Clocktown.
Can't you take it off in the clock town though?
Well, yeah, but then,
No, yeah, you can, but then you have to go through the entire glitch process of putting it back on.
Good point.
But then there's, we found a way to get out by totally cheating because Fierce Deity is so much taller.
Yep.
There's actually so many ways you can break that game if you go Fierce Deity in the middle of the road. It's great. I wouldn't try doing the alien, saving the ranch from the aliens thing in Fierce Deity. I tried that. They're vulnerable to your sword projectiles, but they only go like 2 meters. So you have to, and you can't get, you actually can get on Epona, but you can't use a bow. So your legs are just dragging along the ground, and you can't use a bow. So there's nothing you can do.
Still find it funny. I have yet to ever beat Majora's Mask without just abusing the Fierce Deity mask with the golden milk.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've only beaten it that time. Milk, mask, bam, 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 bam. Yeah, whatever.
The Choo-Choo Romani, man.
Yeah.
Or Chateau, right, Chateau, excuse me. When I was a kid, for some reason, I read Chateau as Choo-Choo, because in the last game there were Chew Jellies and Choo-Choo and all that stuff. So, to this day, I've had the habit of saying Choo-Choo Romani, as opposed to Chateau Romani, now that I'm an adult and actually have literal sense.
Welcome to my world.
So, what's next?
Yeah, what do you got?
Let's go to the next question. Alicorn Texas Boy asks, and the Twilight's Magic asks, they branch off of here. Apple or Microsoft?
I'm a Microsoft guy. Apple can eat me. In fact, I can eat it because it's an apple.
Microsoft definitely. As much as annoyance Microsoft is, they do have a very versatile platform, and the fact that the iPhone 6 is literally a bendable phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Microsoft at least.
It just depends on your profession. Like, I'm not an artist in any regard. Artists really need Apple products because their equipment owes so heavily to the versatility in their programs. But they aren't compatible with junk. So, if you're looking for compatibility, you're definitely not looking for an Apple of any variety. Plus, they're so stingy about it. You can't even you jailbreak your iPhone and they actually care.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad.
They'll care that you break it, but heaven help them if they ever make an actual quality product anymore.
All right, so
and then the other one, apple or oranges?
Apples for days. Yeah,
Apples.
for days, man.
Apple juice, apple cider, apple treats, apple tarts, apple bumpkin.
I could get effed up on apple juice.
Heck, apple bottom jeans. Woo! No.
No, that's fine. We in there. I think.
Somewhat.
I'm sorry. I'm like trying to picture that shape, and now I actually can. It's coming out really weird.
All right, we've got about 10 minutes left, so I'm going to jump around a little bit, try and get some people who I haven't gotten to.
Mm-hmm.
Tokoi, how I pronounce that correctly.
You got it.
Yeah.
Toakoi asks, so what's your most like crossover? We already asked that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
How
don't be
about-
sorry. He does that a lot.
He does.
We love you, Tokoi. You really got to pay attention, though.
Venher asks, a magic toaster oven has been dubbed as a god. What would you do for the magic toaster, god of the toast?
I would feed you to it. I would feed you to it. Dear world, really a sentient, omnipotent toaster.
All right, so I'm not even going to dignify this. What's next?
All right. How about...
I would toast bread in it. It would probably be very good bread. There.
Matt the Shadow Man asks, a really obscure reference here, will we ever end up having a hippie universe in the same way we have a human universe to Equestria already?
I mean, you have people that... Yeah, we have a hippie world. For God's sake, have you not seen these freaking people trying to save the rainforest? Meanwhile, these people do more harm than good. We already live in a world full of hippies. We don't need any more.
Actually, I would have just pointed out to Burning Man and let that be that. But if you want,
there you go. Even better.
Time travel, ponies time travel about 30 years into the past and then go to the human world. There's your hippie world.
Yeah.
Or 40. It's 40 now, yeah.
It's 40
years.
now.
Yeah.
Venher asks, You woke up one day to find out you're a wizard. What would your reaction be?
I'm a wizard circuit.
Well, okay. Is this are we going Harry Potter on this? Is that what I'm assuming? We're going Harry Potter?
That's where I went.
Okay, here's the full question. I didn't want to read it because I was just figuring, maybe. So, whatever. The point is this is how he asked it. You woke up one day to find out that you're a wizard, Harry. What would be your reaction?
I'm a hairy wizard. I guess I'm going to go get a shave.
Well, first of all, I'd be confused that some burly friggin' troll just called me Harry. And past that, oh my god, I would go to so many people and abuse that Imperio thing. You know, the one that makes them do whatever you want?
Yep.
Oh my god, I would abuse the crap out of that spell. I would never work again a day in my life.
Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money.
I would go to Best Buy and I would walk out with so many components.
Somehow I could just see myself recording a YouTube video and just making fun of Wingardium Leviosa.
Again, so many other things I could do. So many things I'm not allowed to say on this podcast.
Again, and we're all grateful for it in some extent.
A lot of it concerns my junk. That's the short part.
And we've kind of figured that one too.
And there we go. Dark92 Enigma asks, do you think your show has or will inspire others to make their own show? And if so, how many do you think have been influenced already?
It has, and we know of 3.
Mm-hmm.
We've already been through this a few times with some of the people that we've tried to help start off. Actually, I crushed one once. There were these guys that had no literal typing. They actually had the nerve to insult guests, ask them to get other guests, and I actually just shut these guys down. Because I have the power to do that. Because I made a name for myself in this fandom. Anyway, the point is, yes, we've helped a lot of people along. I can't name the podcasts. It's been a long time. Also, I don't really care about anyone else's podcasts because that's kind of the guy I am.
Yeah, he is correct. There have been a few podcasts out there and other streamers that have taken inspiration based on what we do. Some of them may do something a little bit different than actual podcasting. They may just do live streaming of different video games or art or other things. But we have inspired quite a number of people, and it's always fun when they actually take the inspiration and do good things with it. Admittedly, though, I do support Slick Deals with crushing the people that were abusing and basically not doing what's appropriate for a podcast.
Yeah, it was like these English douchebags. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There was just these 2 English guys. Their typing was absolutely atrocious, so it's a wonder that they managed to communicate with anyone at all. So and it's not that I just shut them down. I was trying. Not like I am now. I do have the ability to be professional in situations where needed. I was trying my hardest to help them and give them a grasp on what they need to do with themselves currently to really start proper. And I got insulted for it, so I stopped. So I keyed in their 3 current guests that I knew that they had already gotten. By the way, I was supposed to be those guys were going to interview me at the same time as Glaze, Wood, and Toaster. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how they expected that to work out, but at the same time. So that gives you an idea of this.
Yeah, that is definitely one thing you never want to do.
Yeah. One podcast I actually can name because I did just remember. Brony Talk, we actually helped out a lot. Mm-hmm. I honestly just feel that they were kind of a missed opportunity just because I thought Brony Talk, they came out, their finalized program kind of came out extremely similar to ours. And meanwhile, I actually thought that it was a bit of a missed opportunity. With a name like Brony Talk, I thought it could have been a great podcast for something, say, like picking a current controversy in the fandom and talking very in-depth about it with a name like Brony Talk. I actually, I just thought that they kind of missed an opportunity. I don't know what those guys are up to these days. I kind of had a falling out with the head of it.
Yeah, I know that they had a little bit of infighting, and I think I actually ran across a YouTube one of them does and managed to say hi to him. So one of them is doing all right still. He's doing his own thing now.
All right. So what's next?
Actually, we're about ready to wrap this up. So I wanted to ask you my last question here that I like to ask everyone before they go.
Mhm.
Do you have any future plans you want to share with us while we're here?
Well, right
Uh,
now, the travel, like I said, I'm the co-head of this, head of that at the Traveling Pony Museum. Currently, we're going to DerpyCon, which is not a PonyCon, by the way. It's just happens to be the name. In New Jersey right now, on December 5th to the 7th. So if you want to see us there, that's the next place we're going to be. By the way, we're still looking for applicants, recruits for the Traveling Pony Museum. So come to the Brony Show at some point. Ask for me if you're interested and you think you could contribute to the museum at all. Because we have about 7 positions. 5 of them are online based. So you can do it. All right.
all right.
Circuit Main, anything?
Okay, well, I'm making some. Right now, I'm making some more immediate plans of doing a crazy road trip down to Dallas with my other co-host Blank to get the rest of his stuff and get him fully moved up here at my house. After that, we're planning on doing. I'm hoping to get plans together to do some fun things for the stream for Christmas. Then from there, just see what it brings us. Maybe try to get some more streams up and about. Try to get some more streamers doing some things, or maybe continue making the awesome podcast that I always do.
Nice. Do you want to give us one last plug of your show so that everyone who came in late might know what to do or where to go and what to say?
Certainly. For those of you who are joining us here just recently or before the beginning, this was Circuit Main of The Brony Show with his former co-host but still awesome friend Slick Deals. You can always join Circuit Main and his cast of kooky fun characters over at www.thebronyshow.net. Our streams are playing at least once a day, something different, something always fun. We'll have a Let's Play going on later today, as well as The Brony Show proper tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to catch us live there, where we are completely uncensored, crazy, and we will be talking about Rainbow Rocks as it is playing. That is right, a complete commentary of Rainbow Rocks as it is playing on stream. Take it away.
That was funny.
I try.
All right, let's wrap this up, folks. First of all, I want to say a great big thank you to our guests, Circuit Main and Slick Deals.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pleasure.
For those of you next week, well, let me put it to you this way, what's happening next week. I've been doing this for about 3 years, 97 episodes. I'm the only guy in the world who has never sat in the audience on my own show. So next week, we're going to switch things up a little bit. Twilight is Magic is going to be running the next show. We're going to go over, we're going to be reviewing Season 2, Episode 22, Hurricane Fluttershy. So join us next week, same time, same place. And until then, take care, everyone.
So you.
Peace.
All right, I'll give it about 10 seconds here.
Nah, another feeling.